Hi everyone, welcome to 28 COE Talks. The idea of this short talk show is to let you know who our members are and also a little bit about their thought process and their journey. Today I am with Jessyca Joyekurun from Mauritius, who is a Mandela Washington Fellow sponsored by Obama's administration 2014, a Yale Business and Entrepreneurship course graduate, and an experienced HR and employment law professional. She has a solid demonstrated history of working in the human resources and employment law industry in Mauritius, East Africa, and Madagascar for the past 13 years and 10 years as an entrepreneur. She is skilled in employee mediation, HR strategy, HR audit, HR consulting, and employee relations. So, we are going to talk about how big is an unemployment problem. Especially in India, the problem unemployment is one problem, but there are problems related to it. This is just the source of it. Unemployment leads to crime, unemployment leads to theft, robbery, right? So unemployment is the source of many other problems. So how do we solve it?
So thank you so much for having me today and to give me the opportunity to express myself, to be part of this network and to express myself to the whole world, to be able to expand on a couple of solutions that I've been working on together with the alumni of the Mandela Washington Fellows. So basically, as you mentioned, youth unemployment is really on the rise because of various couple issues. We can say it can side on both. It is the ecosystem that we live in many countries, where it's how far is the government helping, how far is the corporate sector helping, how far is the young unemployed person, what are they doing to be able to secure a new job. But then this is why we need a collective effort from all counterparts to be able to work towards solutions, to provide bridges so that there are opportunities that can be provided. The biggest issue that we saw is a mismatch in terms of the supply of the skills and expertise and the demand of it. So that's why if we need to start at the source before I embark into how entrepreneurship can help, if we go back to the source of when we were in secondary school, and if by the age of 15 we had a proper career counseling, and at national level, if each government could, put some budget to pull a report of what are the sectors that are being hot at the moment, that are recruiting, that shall be recruiting, they can predict, kind of have a predictive survey, what will be the skills required, the positions, the industries, so that this can be used as a roadmap to that 15-year-old who's looking at the job market and not really knowing what they want to do. At times, most of the times, like in Asian countries, we're really pushed by our parents to, I myself was supposed to become a lawyer. That's why I did a law degree. And then finally, I've managed to push back and say, no, I don't want to be a lawyer. I want to work in HR. So how lucky are other people just like I did, like I was. So that's why I'm thinking this report, this survey will be a roadmap for these, I can say, these school leavers to be able to know in which field they can embark in. And it's not only for them, but it's also for those who did a degree in certain areas and then they want to change career. This is also possible. Again, I'm taking my example. I did a law degree and then finally I changed career. It wasn't the end of the world or anything. And now in terms of how entrepreneurship can help, this is where we, as I said, we need a collective effort, because I know it's a very daunting task. I know it's a very daunting concept to become an entrepreneur. Some people think you need to have like top dollar in your bank account, that you will not succeed, and especially for bigger countries, because Mauritius is a small country. So when I ventured out on the African continent, I realized how massive these markets were. And then if you're not properly equipped, if you don't have the necessary investors or sponsors with you, you can easily be driven out of business. But I'm not here to discourage you to go into entrepreneurship. On the contrary, I'm always the type of person that says, I don't think outside the box. I just don't know where the box is. So that's why if you can't find a job, create an opportunity, create an industry, see what is missing in terms of what your economy, what your city, where you're living is missing in terms of either in the supply chain, either in terms of product, in terms of service. And this we have seen COVID-19 with so many people losing jobs. We have seen how creativity came into play for some, how some with a great resignation movement that happened in America and picked up across the world, how some people were tired of the corporate world, and then finally, or those who were laid off massively, finally they said, no, we're not going back to the corporate world, and then we will try to some venture. We saw that there was a need, there was a niche market, this was scarce, that was scarce, so why not try? And then of course, this is where you have to be informed. This is where before you launch into entrepreneurship, I would encourage reading books like the lean startup, exploring concept of the venture canvas model, so that you answer this model which makes you answer the right questions, so that you can hit the right decisions and make you not lose time and money as well, and resources in terms of doing the wrong decisions because you didn't know that. So you have that, and then there are this is picking up in so many cities. It's called incubators. They not only provide you, so you don't need to rent a big office and go out of business just because of office costs. You just rent a desk. You have so many facilities there. There's a network. So yeah. So for me, entrepreneurship is worth exploring. And even, as I always say, even if you do it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, it's not, it has picked up or it hasn't picked up, you can still go back to the corporate
I think
world.
people were not able to take the risk, but COVID has played a major role in that. They were forced to go think out of the box and do something, because COVID was a period when they had no other option, because they have to pay the bills and they have to look out for something. Either it's better to create job for somebody else than to look out for job. And you also mentioned about social impact. So can you elaborate how does social impact as on entrepreneurship?
Social impact, sorry, what was the question?
You mentioned about social impact, right? You said that unemployment, because of social impact also, it leads to unemployment.
Yes. So yeah, of course, because you can imagine companies, as I said, so many companies, for example, in Mauritius, have closed down, went out of business, been driven out because of COVID, and most of them were not prepared to face a pandemic like this. So, and they didn't have the reserves correctly. Even big companies are in Mauritius. When I speak about the social impact that an entrepreneur can also have in the community, this is where I learned this concept from when I went to America. It's called social entrepreneurship. Okay. Meaning you're not just selling a product just to make a profit for yourself. You're not an NGO that's here for non-profit. You're in between, meaning that you have a structure, you have a brilliant idea, you have a lot of it these days has got to do with sustainability, so green finance, green products, and things like that. And then while you're running your business, while you create employment, while you're making your profit and going about your business, you're also impacting positively the community that you're in, the economy that you're in. So a lot of this concept, which was a bit foreign when I went to America, like in 2014, now it has picked up in terms of.
Yes, I see so many people mentioning their title as social entrepreneur. I was thinking, what is the social entrepreneur? And then that is when I started researching about it. Right.
I mentioned that as well. It's, for example, how do I qualify as being a social entrepreneur? I didn't even know I was one, to be honest. I didn't even know I was an entrepreneur when I started business, because in Mauritius, when we were kids, the word entrepreneur never existed. It was businesswoman, businessman. And this was like, wow, you should have millions in the bank to be like this. And then when I started my business, and then this word picked up, entrepreneur, then I learned from where it is. It's from the French word entreprendre, be able to undertake something. And then I went to America. It blew the whole dimension to social entrepreneurship.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Nice talking to you too.